Hello and welcome back to Eurofootball Daily, where today we're looking at 10 giant teams enduring horrid trophy droughts. Let's get into it. 10. Athletic Club. We begin our first entry in 1984. France won the Euros, Liverpool beat Roma in the Champions League final, and it was also the year that Athletic Bilbao won their last trophy. A double in fact, with La Liga and Copa del Rey victories. Behind the big three of Real Madrid, Barcelona and Atletico Madrid, the fourth most successful side in Spain is Los Leones, who have no fewer than 8 La Liga titles to their name. The majority of their success came in the early 1900s, winning 17 different honours by 1936, along with a few other victories in the 50s and 60s. But 1984 was the last time Athletic Club claimed silverware. The Basque club don't help themselves with their conservative transfer policy, known for their cantera approach of bringing young Basque players through the ranks and using them exclusively. However, Marcelino's men are edging closer to ending their 38-year-long wait for a trophy, having finished runners-up in the Copa del Rey for the last 2 seasons. 9. Everton. The last Everton captain to lift a cup for the club was Dave Watson back in 1995. At the time he was 33 and he's now just turned 60. That's a 27-year gap. It's currently the longest trophy drought in the club's history. That's not to say they haven't been close to ending it though. The Toffees made it to the 2009 FA Cup final, which they led after just 25 seconds through Louis Saha, but ultimately lost 2-1 to Chelsea. In an era of dominance by super wealthy clubs and no Leicester fairy tale to look back on, Everton aren't alone in this feat. Aston Villa's last trophy came in 1996 in the League Cup. West Ham's most recent major silverware was in 1980, but Everton have splashed the cash and spent £450 million on transfers in the last 5 years, over £100 million more than the aforementioned sides. With that kind of spending, the Goodison Park faithful should have witnessed more than just one final in 13 years. 8. Belenenses. Before we begin, it's important to make clear that Belenenses are different from Belenenses SAD, after the two split in 2018. The latter competes in the Primeira Liga, while the latest entry in our video, Belenenses, has fallen to the 4th tier of Portuguese football. In this sense, they are hardly giants. However, O Belém are still the 5th most decorated side in Portugal, the 4th longest representative in the Primeira Liga, and the 5th highest points collector in the championship's history. And they have won the Taça de Portugal 3 times, the last coming in 1989, while they even reached the final as recently as 2007. These are memories the Belenenses fans can reflect on with pride, and they've always been a team with the odds stacked highly against them. Founded over 100 years ago and playing in a stadium that seats just shy of 20,000 people, the Lisbon club were the first team to win the Primeira Liga outside the traditional big three of Benfica, Porto and Sporting way back in 1946. It would take a monumental effort to compete with these Portuguese giants once more, but with history on their side, Belenenses could one day rise again. 7. Schalke. Even though they are currently playing in the 2nd division in Germany, Schalke are undeniably one of the biggest teams in the country. They've won 7 Bundesliga titles, with only Bayern Munich, FC Nürnberg and Borussia Dortmund ahead of them in the history books. The Knappen dominated German football in the 30s, winning their first 6 titles between 1934 and 1942. They've also picked up silverware this century, lifting the Pokal and Super Cup 4 times, but they failed to carry this success over into the league, with their last title coming back in 1958, a 60-year drought, and with Bayern showing a new level of dominance and Schalke recently relegated, the Gelsenkirchen club are far from claiming Germany's biggest prize again. 6. Universidad de Chile. Since its creation 61 years ago, the Copa Libertadores has been dominated by clubs from Argentina and Brazil. It means a whole host of South American clubs have never won the competition, including Deportivo Cali from Colombia and Barcelona of Ecuador, and even Fluminense, the biggest Brazilian side without the continent's top honours to their name. Peru and Mexico have never produced a winner either, but our pick comes from the Chilean capital of Santiago. An 18-time winner of the Chilean Primera Division, including 8 victories in this century alone, Universidad de Chile are their nation's dominant force alongside Colo-Colo. But while their bitter Clásico rivals managed to conquer South America in 1991, Universidad de Chile have fallen at the semi-finals on 4 occasions. The last time that happened was in 2012, a year after they went undefeated to win the Copa Sudamericana, the Europa League equivalent. The Copa Libertadores remains the only trophy they are missing, but sadly a failure to progress from the group stages since their run to the last 4 suggests that their wait for ultimate glory might last a little longer. 5. Stade de Reims. You might consider Stade de Reims as merely a minnow of Ligue 1, but it cannot be understated just how important Les Rouges et Blancs were in shaping the French game back in the 50s and 60s. They were the first side from France to reach the European Cup final, twice being defeated by Real Madrid in 1956 and 1959, but more significantly, they occupy legendary status after providing the core of the national team that reached the 1958 World Cup semi-finals. It was the first time Les Bleus had made significant inroads on the international stage, and made heroes of run stars including Raymond Cooper, Just Fontaine and Robert Jonquet. Once a major force, prior to 1962, the northeastern French club won Ligue 1 6 times and the Coupe de France twice. Hard times have followed since, but they are currently showing hints of their former glory, returning to Ligue 1 in 2018 and finishing 5th a season later. Things are looking up, just don't bet on them winning another title anytime soon. 4. Genoa. To Italy now, where there are a number of teams we could have chosen. Fiorentina's last trophy was the Coppa Italia over 20 years ago, while Torino, forever in the shadow of their glittering neighbours Juventus, last celebrated a Coppa Italia of their own in 1993. But spare a thought for Genoa, who haven't won anything in a whopping 84 years, last tasting glory in 1937, when they won the Coppa Italia. Since the Second World War, they have never even reached a final, or topped their 4th place finish in Serie A back in 1990. That effort actually led to a surprise run to the UEFA Cup semi-finals, but it's been overshadowed by years of yo-yoing between Italy's top 2 divisions. Needless to say, we're not counting the 8 times they have won Serie B, and unless Andrei Shevchenko can turn things around, they might be back there next season. 3. Santos. Santos are one of the most famous clubs outside of Europe, largely due to the number of exciting talents they've produced, with the likes of Pelé and Neymar. With such a star-studded history, it's no surprise that Santos are one of the most decorated sides in South America, and have the second highest number of league titles in Brazil. However, they don't boast the same level of success on the national stage, as the Paulistão side haven't lifted Brazil's Serie A trophy since 2004, when they had the likes of Robinho on their books. Since then, however, they have finished as low as 15th, 1 point above the relegation zone in 2008, and runners-up as recently as 2019. The 18-year-long wait for the title looks like it will continue, as they currently sit 11th, 32 points off top spot at the time of writing. They've at least experienced recent success in the Campeonato Paulista, claiming the cup in 2015 and 2016, but their wait for the national prize continues. 2. Bayer Leverkusen. Bayer Leverkusen hold the unwanted record of the most runners-up medals in the Bundesliga without ever winning the competition, having finished second on 5 occasions. The last time they even got near the title was in 2010-11, losing out to Jurgen Klopp's Dortmund. And they've not had much luck in other competitions either, finishing runners-up in 3 Pokal finals since last winning it in 1993. A 4-2 thrashing at the hands of Bayern Munich in the 2019-20 final has only compounded their misery. And their record in Europe is not much better. Famously on the wrong end of a Zinedine Zidane wonder strike in the 01-02 Champions League final, they're yet to progress as far in the UCL, though they'll still always have the 1988 UEFA Cup victory to reminisce about. Now trophyless for almost 30 years, let's hope Gerardo Sewane's crop of exciting young talent can be the ones to finally bring some silverware back to the Bay Arena. 1. Tottenham Hotspur. Often jokes are made about Spurs' lack of trophies over recent years, and how the only thing their cabinet is collecting is dust. And it's hard to say that's not true, as this season marks 13 years since they last lifted a cup. February 2008 saw the North London club beat their rivals Chelsea in the final of the League Cup. A team headed by Juande Ramos and captained by Ledley King scored a 94th minute winner to break the then 9-year drought of no silverware. The Lily Whites have come close to ending their current barren run though, finishing runners-up 3 times in the League Cup, once in the Premier League, and losing to Liverpool in the Champions League final in 2019. With a new state-of-the-art stadium, one of the best managers in the world, and talented players like Harry Kane and Heung-min Son, they have the components to change this. But with competition in England at its peak, there's never been a tougher time to compete for trophies. With their hopes of progressing in the Europa Conference League hanging by a thread, it could yet be another season without silverware for Tottenham. So that was 10 giant teams enduring horrid trophy droughts, but who did we miss out? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, do give it a like and subscribe to the channel for more great content. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.